Hello, and welcome back to the Hand Drawn Project, where I'm documenting my journey to create hand-drawn coloring books one page at a time. Today we're drawing, inking, and coloring one of the most recognizable dinosaurs in the world, the Parasaurolophus. The Parasaurolophus. There, I'm leaving that in. Also known as the crested duck-billed dinosaur. That long curved crest isn't just cool to look at. Scientists thinks it worked like a built-in trumpet. Stick around in a minute and I'll explain how this dinosaur might have used that sound, like a prehistoric foghorn. This dinosaur will be a part of my next dinosaur-themed coloring book, and this process from rough pencil to crisp ink to full color is how I test each page. That helps to decide what picture makes it to the final version on my covers. Eventually, I'll pick out one of these dinosaurs, 3 for the back and 1 for the front, and I want each one to shine in its own way. So let's bring this one to life and see how it turns out. Well, I'm starting with a light sketch using a 4B pencil. It's dark enough to be clearly seen on camera, but soft enough to be erased cleanly after inking. I usually work from the head out towards the tail, generally start in the eye area. It helps keep everything in proportion in my mind, especially with dinosaurs like these crested duck-billed dinosaurs that have such distinct features. I treat the crest like a hat if I'm sizing before I draw the rest of the body. The crested duck-billed dinosaur lived during the late Cretaceous period. It's part of the hadrosaur family. As I sketch, I don't stress about every detail. This is the easiest part, is getting the sketch down. The early stages are about rhythm and balance. I think of the flow, the arc of the spine, the swing of the tail, and how this creature might have moved. I do some research and get a bunch of pictures. I look at video, computer models, see how they arced their back and moved. Once I'm happy with the basic structure, I move on to the inking part. It's always a mixed reaction, and it's relaxing and nerve-wracking because ink is final. Once you lay that line down, it's there. I use Staedtler pigment liners or micron pens. They're waterproof, consistent, and they're pretty smooth on the page. There's one inking tip I always follow. Now, I didn't. Make sure you vary your line thickness, and the thicker outlines around the edges and thinner ones inside. It gives the drawing a little more depth and dimension. I sometimes don't remember to do that, but it still turns out okay. It also helps segregate the character from the background when I start coloring later. And it is always a good idea to let the ink dry completely before erasing the pencil sketch, before you color. I've ruined a couple drawings that way by rushing this step. So a lot of times I'll stick it in front of a fan for a few minutes just to make sure. The ink's quick drying, but it's still, sometimes it takes a little bit. Now about the crest, paleontologists believed it acted as a resonating chamber, almost like a built-in trumpet, possibly. The idea is that the crested duck-billed dinosaur could make low, echoing calls to communicate with its herd or signal danger. Imagine a group of these dinosaurs honking across the swamps like foghorns. And then once we get to the fun part, the coloring, for this part of the coloring, this time, instead of crayons or colored pencils, I'm using alcohol markers. I kept the body pretty simple, just one clean layer of color with the spots that help the dinosaur stand out boldly on the page. Sometimes I'll do different, a darker shade for the shadows, but I didn't on this one. Even without layering, alcohol markers lay down pretty smooth and even coverage, and it looks pretty good on camera. I don't think I had my camera set to the right color. Didn't quite pop out in the video, so you'll see it at the end when I did a scan. It looks a lot better. If you do want softer blends or highlights, here's a quick tip for you. You can use a colorless blender or overlap strokes while the ink is still wet. But for this drawing, I wanted to keep the solid flat tones to keep it crisp and easy to color. Another quick fun fact, the crested duck-billed dinosaur could walk on 2 legs or 4, using all 4 while grazing, but standing tall and running on 2 legs when it needed speed. That's, of course, a hypothesis, but sounds good. Who knows? For my color choices, I went with a kind of a maroonish crest to make it the focal point. The body is kind of an orange-brown with deep little blue sky in the background for contrast. And hey, if you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. I've got more dinosaurs coming your way, and I've got a couple more before this one, and 3 other coloring books that I've done. Fossils of the crested duckbill dinosaur. They've also been found in North America, especially Alberta, Utah, and New Mexico. Scientists think they live near rivers and swamps, using their duckbills to graze on aquatic plants and shrubs. When I color, I try to think about the light. The soft green shadow under the dino helps to ground it to the picture, even if the background stays pretty simple. And the final touch, contrast. The sky does. It takes me a while to pick out the right color blue, and this one I think it helped the picture stand out. Little things like that can make a huge difference, in your coloring. And here it is, the final crested duckbill dinosaur. This one came together really nicely. I love how expressive I made the face, and that bright crest pulls your eye in right away. So I'm adding this to the stack of finished dinosaurs for my upcoming coloring book, which I will have 30 original hand-drawn pages. Each page will have a QR code that you can scan to watch the drawing process, just like this one. If you enjoyed this video, check out the others in the series. Thanks for watching.